angry. They have all these horrible emotions. And one of the points about it too is that only happened because they didn't have the time of day for themselves to just sit down and just learn not to destroy it, not to like get rid of it, but to take it all in, not to push it away. That's when you're meditating, right? You're letting all of those horrible emotions, like holding it right up to your face and just learning how to live with it, learning to deal with it. What's going on there? Why do I feel this certain type of way? You know, like I hate this thing about me, right? And then the whole point about meditation is to come to face value with that, and in literally releasing all of that out, not really releasing all of it out, but holding it up to you, like taking your hands in, scooping it up, and just taking a giant fucking bite of the shit sandwich that's going on in your fucking head, and you're letting that, you're coming to terms with it, you're understanding why it's happening, and in a way you can make peace with it, and then that's when you reach a level of ideology that we see as destroying an ego, because you can see all of that as an ego. That's why people talk so much about getting rid of the ego, because that is the ego. But the reality of it is,
what do you mean by like your negative thoughts, or just your thoughts in general, or like
anything that you would block out, that you don't want to put out, right? Something that you push away from your head, even, right? Something you just don't want to think about. You put it off, like like things you just don't like about yourself is a good example, or things you don't like about another person or something that brings up feelings of just anger and like sadness and negatively affecting yourself and the people around you. That's what would be considered the ego. It's unrealistic standards, for instance, like toxicity, like all of that could be considered as the ego. And the point of all of these studies and meditations are for people to try to not kill the ego, but live with it, because that's, you could see it again, like as you, like that's still you. That's like another soul, if you will, of you.
Is that what you were saying in regards to like the other like the gender bend fucking like side you don't show type shit?
Yeah, kind of, right? I mean, I didn't really pay attention to talking about that. You could see it like that. I don't know.
Well, because what I was what's it called? You know that Japanese like it's like a Japanese folk like myth thing, is that you have like 3 faces or something like that. One that like you show, it's like, it's what you were saying basically, where you like, one you show to the outside world, one you like keep internally, that like you do not show anyone. It is like your private, like your internal monologue basically. And then I think the other one is like the spirit, I think. I don't know. But it was basically similar to shit like that. Jesus Christ. All this came because some motherfucker ate a plant and was like, yo.
Tripping balls, dude.
Shit,
Sipping on
dog.
tea. Sipping on the forbidden juice.
Tea. And then
Exactly.
everybody else was just like, yeah, dog. For sure.
Oh yeah, cool, man. Anyway, the Mongols are invading. I'm gonna be honest, dog. We got better shit to worry about. Talking about fucking femboys inside me. Shit.
Holy shit. God damn.
Oh man.
Do you hold on, there's also You know, I'm assuming because you watch Joe Rogan, you know what stone ape theory is, right?
Of course,
Of course, dude. Like, honestly, I genuinely think that's plausible. Like, I don't.
Wait, what is it again?
It's the idea that all human, like, culture, or like, I guess what you would say is like a character or like personality, basically becoming like individualized, I guess you could say, became a thing due to like our like ancestors, to like our current species fucking tripping. Like they just like ate fucking a plant, like, you know, that one dumbass, and literally because of that we turned from like what you would consider animals and really became like intelligent and had culture.
I see what you're saying.
Had like the way we interact as individuals and have our own personalities and blah 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 blah. So like
I think that's very plausible.
I think it is too, because you don't see what we have in other species. Even species that may show what we think are like
a higher form of intelligence.
Yes, like dogs following, you know, fucking sounds from a mouth,
like that's,
right?
Like that's just instinct.
Exactly. But there's more to that though. It's the like idea of being you. Like dogs can't perceive themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like they can't like look in a mirror and be like, oh yeah, that's me. That's why a lot of dogs literally look in a mirror and they just start barking at themselves because they're just stupid as shit and they're just like, whoa, what the fuck, who's that, bro? But like we do have that, and I think some monkeys do, like, not like some animals do have that specifically, but even then it's still like leaps and bounds, you know what I'm saying? Like and because of that, I definitely think it could have happened. But what's up?
I think that's a fair point, because I've never felt more creative than when I was like tripping balls, dude. You know what I mean?
You know what? I will agree with you on that sense.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you feel I've tried it. You feel like almost productive, like you're ready to be productive, you know? And because it's like you break a barrier at some point where you're just like, you just don't care. Like you're just gonna go home and fucking do it. It's not so much like a boost of confidence, but you break a barrier of like self-realization. Well, not so much of yourself, but like of the world around you. Yeah, well, just like everyone around you, like everyone's doing this certain type of way, and you break through a barrier of like, hey, why are people doing that? That's kind of fucking weird. Like, I'm gonna do it this way. You know what I mean? Like, or just like you reach a level of acceptance and like understanding of things, and like I've had some very like thought-provoking moments. I've just been fucking being a psychonaut, and then I've had like moments I was, oh my god, like why am I this? Like why have I been doing this way? Like, what is going on here? Like the best way, I've said it a million times, I'll say a million more. The best way to describe it is like you just see patterns that have always been there, but you're just now noticing on just everything, every single little detail. You're just now noticing.
I still don't know what you mean in that regard. Like that's the thing. I have so much like to like experience in regards to that. Like I still, like, first of all, I got gypped, if you remember. The bitch I don't even remember what the fuck the bitch told me, but it was significantly not that. So like I had a mild dose, and even then, like, it was a fucking ride, bro. Like,
yeah,
for real. You drop fucking 10 tabs at one time like a fucking dumbass, dude.
Oh, yeah. I got permanent eye folders, dude.
Exactly. I was just feeling a little uplifted, you know what I'm saying? You're having reality shift over here, dog.
Oh, dude, it's fucking. I've had like, I had a moment though, like, this is when I went cold turkey, where like, that was the closest I ever had to like, a total like just ego death, just, but not in the way, not in like a good way, in a way of like, my whole self identity was just like gone, dude. Like I just had a moment of just like, what, like, dude, like I would. It wasn't even like depressing, or like, I mean, it was pretty depressing, like looking out in. But I wasn't depressed. I was feeling like this is, why the fuck are we? What is going on here? I just had a moment of just like, why the fuck are any of us like here? Like we don't deserve to fucking be here. We're destroying our fucking planet. We're killing each other. It's like, this fucking sucks. I was like, what is the point of just caring anymore? And like, that's the best way to put it. At the moment, it was like I just stopped caring about everything. Like I was just like completely black-faced, emotionless.
Did like character traits get suppressed? Like, were you not acting like yourself? I guess.
What, after?
I mean, during, after, like, how did you get out of that? Like, what?
The only way like I snapped out of it was because that kind of went on for like a couple of days, like into my afterglow. Because you know how you have an afterglow after you have a trip, and like you still kind of feel the effects, but in a positive way. Well, this was in a negative way, and where like my last thoughts like still carried over. I'm just like fuck, I just don't care, dude. Like it was so hard for me to care about anything or like anyone, dude, for a couple of days. And I don't know, like I think it was just like I went to the field or something. I think it was like I went somewhere like completely just like I just got away from everything. But I was at like a field problem. So, and then I just kind of naturally like just came back to it. I was just like, what was going on? But I was kind of fucked up. Like, I was ready to fucking, like, I wasn't depressed or I wanted to kill myself, but I just didn't care if anybody wanted to live anymore. Like, I didn't care about the world. I didn't care about anyone's ideologies or,
How much did you take to cause this?
It was only like, probably close to under 6, just at least 4. I'll tell you that. But I don't even know, like, I don't even remember how it happened. Like, I was just sitting down, like, just thinking about life and shit, just like, wow, like, this is fucked up. And in a way, like, I still, like, really think that certain type of way now, to where I just think, like, very nihilistic, you know? Like, I still have very nihilistic ideologies to some things, and, like, it did carry through, but I'm not as bad as I was, like, those first couple days after.
Would you say it's more like a... What are you nihilistic to? I guess I should start preface with.
Like, consequences. I don't think there's any consequences. I don't think karma exists. Karma definitely doesn't exist. Consequences mean fuck all. Like, literally the worst kind of people in the world do horrible shit and nothing happens, and then good people do good shit and they get fucked. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that. Like, it's a world where you just gotta fight for yourself, dog. Like, you gotta, it's a world where you gotta fuck over people. You have to fucking make shitty choices, but you gotta do it for you, because no one, I still feel like that too, dude. Like, I can't, for me, I can't rely on people. Like, I don't rely on people for shit. Like, I hate asking people to do shit for me. I can't, like, even like from small shit, like my phone, I don't rely on other people to do that shit for me. Like I'll change shit up for myself, change the screen for myself, do my taxes by myself, like all this shit like I do by myself because I just yeah, like just little shit, dude. Like I can't rely on people. Like I don't know, it's like a trust thing. Like I can't trust people because people are so fucked up, and like I kind of thought like that, but I had like the benefit of the doubt for like the society and the world as a whole. But after like that night, I was just like, no, like I'm being stupid. Yeah, like I'm being silly. Like that's not how it is. Like this is horrible. And that too, but also like just like how like humility doesn't exist as much as we like it to too. And also dog, it was another thing too that like also like really fucked me up that night too. I realized like life too in general is just I used to think like life's fucking good with bad moments, and after that night like I totally flipped the switch of like I think life is inherently very fucking shitty, and you just have those good moments, and our whole lives are dedicated to just searching out for.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, sorry to drop some doomer
still...
shit on you like that.
Turned into a fucking Reddit doomer real quick, bro. Do you still like have that?
Like I still believe that. Yeah. Like what I said, I still believe that. Like it doesn't make me depressed so much as like it's just a realization of like, okay, this is just how it is. You know what I mean? Like this is just how it goes. And I still have like a problem and like
empathizing?
Being empathetic. Yeah, like I'm not a very empathetic person, dude. Like I couldn't give a fuck for a lot of people. Like, and dude, you wanna hear some real doomer shit? Is like I also realized that when like I was thinking about like if like my family died, and maybe it was just the way I came up too, because my family fucked. My family's fucked. Like we all just hate each other. But I was thinking like, man, like we don't even give a shit about each other. Like that says a whole lot, dude. Like, and because in my mind I knew that's not just me. Like that's probably just normal. Like a lot of people just don't like each other, and I don't know, man. I just still think like that. I just think,
unfortunately.
Yeah, I just think the world is very black and white, very black and white. And like, granted, I had thoughts like that before that night, but like it was that
you have glimmers of hope. What
yeah,
I think happened to you is you stopped believing in it and the hope. You just kind of
I just think it's naive to believe in it, you know?
I think that's fair. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
And also too, if it like that, those are just like my beliefs, you know? Like I know like people do good and there is like humility left in the world, but as a whole, man, like
I feel like it's
not looking too good.
It's definitely in short supply.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily want to generalize like on this scale, but like I feel like more people are bad than good. It feels like anyway.
It's one of those things. I don't know, man. It's one of those things too. That's also just like you grow up too, and like you travel, you meet people, you see shit, and you're just like, all right, that's how it is.
People get that's the thing too. It's kind of a cycle. At this point, it definitely is a cycle. Because people do shitty things to people, and that causes people to do shitty things to other people. It's a
Yep.
and at that point, especially at this scale, dude, you can't fucking stop that. That's why I like not to push you further to the doomer scale, but like I don't see how we get out of that. Like that's a trap.
The only thing, well, so like, and then like that's the black and white of it all, right? It's either you do shitty things and you put shitty things into the world, or you do good and you put good into the world. That's the black and white of it all. That's what I mean by it. And I don't know, man. A lot more shit and good that's happening nowadays. And for like the big picture of it all, I'd say like it's something you're not gonna break. Like that's something you're just not gonna break. Like, and dude, here's the thing too. Fucking, you think about it, right? It's either you have freedom, and you start thinking a certain type of way like this, which could invoke something like, say, anarchy, right? Because what the fuck's the point? Or you deprive someone of their freedom and you force them to think a certain type of way for the betterment of just your community as a whole.
Oh.
It's I don't know. It's like, what's the lesser of two evils, you know?
At that point, that's also a shitty choice. Like,
yeah, dude. It's what's the lesser of two evils?
You can't win here.
See, and now you're having like the same like ideas I was going. So imagine that you just that
on fucking
on like a whole world scale of just like this is like, what is the point? And like I said too, like I wasn't depressed. I wasn't about to go kill myself, but I was just like, I just didn't care. Like I just didn't care what happened anymore. So I was like, what the fuck's the point? And that's when I got back, and then that's ironically after that is when I met my fucking hippy dippy friend, and that's when he brought me to this whole other.
Did you feel like yourself during this period?
No, I literally, after those days, I literally felt like I was living in someone else's body. Like, yeah, I could see myself outside of my body.
You were
not like
hard.
Yeah, I was super yeah, exactly.
That's
I was just unengaged and just like, fuck it, don't even care.
Sorry.
And then
continue. I just needed to.
Yeah. But it was, call it what you will, but it was only after I got back from the field and I was feeling a little better, like I was coming back to it, and that's when I met like my hippy dippy fucking friend. And he opened the fucking Willy Wonka factory of this whole different side of the coin of life, right? Of just like, no,
really
you've got it all
wrong. Fucking hippie friend now, bro. Can we get him in
the dick? I have no idea what he's up to these days. I haven't talked to him in a while, but
should meet with him, bro. Just fucking hit him up. But
yeah, well, yeah, like we all had plans, like, cause like him and like the other group of friends that that we all hang out with, and we shoot the shit. We all had plans to like meet up and go do shit. Like, bro, let me tell you, like they're the most humble group of human beings you will ever meet in your entire fucking life.
Are they
like
all,
it is?
All drop hella ass?
No, not all of them. So like, there's a couple of them who get into psychedelics, but like not in like the level me and him were. But it was usually like we just drink and everyone was like a lovey drunk, dude. Oh, bro. There's like this one chick in there who's literally just like a fucking mom, bro. She's like, oh my god, honey, like, how are you doing? Like, I fucking love you. You know that? Like, I talk about you all the time. We were just hey, weren't we just talking about, bro? I fucking love you, dog. Like, it is the definition of a good vibe zone, dude. Like, everyone's just having a fucking great time, just shooting the shit, and that
sounds great. Honestly,
See, so we're getting to a different rabbit hole here, and see, that's where you get into like the cesspool of VR chat because
Oh no!
you
Yeah.
dip your toes in, because luckily
you get fucking yanked into a fucking mud goop swamp.
Dude,
Terrible.
bro, let me tell you something. All right, I had like two groups of people that I hung out with, and like one of them was the hippy dippy group that was just like a diamond in the rough group of fucking homies that were just like we're all just got along with each other. It was literally like you couldn't write a better plot for a fucking anime. You know what I mean? Like, and then these other group of people that was like the dime a dozen cesspool fucking VR chat groups that are all like dating, fucking drama, like, dude, it's fucking crazy.
Genuinely, there is so much degeneracy on VR chat, and I do not say that lightly.
No, it's crazy, dude.
It is terrible. The worst. Like, it's not even like it's the traditionally offensive scum, like, you know, I don't know, fucking murderers, pedophiles. What it's like, it's just
it's its own kind of degeneracy because it's nihilistic degeneracy because when you get down to it, here's the reality, right? Everyone's on there because they want to live that separate persona because you are whoever the fuck you want to be the second you log in. The second, and then you put the headset on, and you are in an even deeper state of living this alter ego, and everyone else is just playing along with this alter ego, right? Because they're like, it's crazy, dude.
This is why I feel like technology is going to ruin.
Dude, it's literally it, bro. You ever see Ready Player One?
Yes, that's it, exactly.
100. Bro, literally.
I genuinely think, like, obviously on a realistic scale, the Ready Player One will not only become a reality, but will do so like relatively soon.
Well,
next
think about
100 years at least.
And dude, think about it like this, right? If you're like unattractive, you're fucking, you're probably a little overweight. It's either you do like 8 months of hard fucking workouts and getting your shit together, or log on the VR chat and it takes 10 minutes to find a big titty golf girl avatar, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the reality of it. And then you can pretend to live this life of just, and everyone else is doing the exact same thing around you. And let me tell you, it's evident enough too, because people, let me tell you, there's a big thing in VR chat too. They're so obsessed with their virtual selves. There's a whole map that's like a scale 1-to-1 club, like super awesome nightclub. All these cool things you can do. There's dance floor, DJ table, fucking beer pong, shit. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is in the mirror, staring at each other in the mirror. Like, I cannot exaggerate this anymore.
Hold on. Can you go back for like 2 seconds? I took like 2 bong hits and I'm like zoning out real quick.
I said, think about it like this. You have a club, right? Scale club looks awesome straight from 2077, straight from Cyberpunk, right? Some 2077 nightclub. It looks incredible. So much shit to do. Dance floor, DJ, fucking little bar, beer pong tables. Yes, like I'm talking VR chat.
Fuck. Exactly. Like, we are so much closer than we think, and people do not realize that.
But here's the thing. Everyone is, I mean everyone, you will find a full server of like 32 people. They are all at one place, staring at each other in the mirror. I'm not even shitting you right now. I cannot make this up. They are all so obsessed with themselves. They will stare at each other in a mirror.
That's like not like real. Like, that doesn't sound real.
That's
like, that
dude.
sounds like I don't know, a
dude.
movie or something. Dog.
It really is. It really fucking is. Like, and you can't even find pictures of it because nobody wants to break that reality. Nobody, because that's like, it's an unspoken thing. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about the elephant in the room because you're breaking the illusion. You're lifting the veil. Like,
oh god, dude. Oh god, RP is a form of that. Jesus Christ.
Dude, like you're red pilling them. You know what I mean? It's like nobody's ready for that. They don't want anything to do with it. They want to go deeper into the fucking psychotic illusion.
Into the Matrix, bro. Fuck, we have predicted our downfall so many fucking times, bro, and nobody pays attention. They become the most popular fucking things on planet Earth, and everybody's just like, nah. Like, dog, we're literally giving ourselves the answer.
Just wait.
Accepting death.
Just wait till the next generation, and then I promise you, that's gonna be the turning point.
Honestly, either the next generation or next 2 generations. Because if you think about it, right, the internet becoming a household thing was the first stepping stone of this. Because at that point, we began to develop independently online personas, and as soon as people could do that, as soon as people could be whatever they wanted to be at any moment to anyone, regardless of whatever the fuck, that is when people had an escape from reality that was like no other, and people will do anything. They will do anything to get that fix. And
Second Life? VR chat is just a virtual Second Life, dude.
Exactly, bro. It's like fucking version 1.5. It was the fucking beta test, bro. Like, you're gonna have the Oculus and, like, you know, all the fucking VR headsets.
Oh, yeah.
That is adding the visual sensation to...
Oh my god, and that's what I was saying, right? And so, yeah, right? So, like, and the thing is, too, like, you'll have people who come in, right? Like, so, like, I'll explain to you my experience, right? So, like, when I ever first played VR chat, I literally, like, I was on, you know, just before I had the VR headset, I literally got on, I fucking got a Stormtrooper, like, skin, and I had, like, a voice changer, and I was just trolling, fucking around, right? And then when I got a VR headset, I was, like, ready to do the exact same thing, just fuck around. And then, like, the moment you put it on, it's, like, and then, like, you see yourself move, you see other people move, and it's a whole nother, like, level of immersion like no other, dude. You're just like, whoa. Like, you actually feel like...
You begin to forget that...
You actually feel like you shouldn't do... Like, your internet... the same way you could talk shit in, like, a Modern Warfare 2 lobby, dude. It's like, because you had that anonymity, as soon as you put the headset on, you feel like you just lost it.
Oh, yes.
Like, you've lost it all.
Exactly, because you don't... You literally become... It's literally becoming a different person. It's becoming whatever type of person you want to be.
Yep.
And so you just it's like a flip of a switch.
Not
only is it like a flip
really
of a switch, but it's like it is a complete, like, separate side of the coin. Just like
I literally didn't even, like, talk to people for a while, because I was like, how do I... Like, I literally was thinking about it, like, it was a random person, like, on the street. Like, I'm not just gonna walk up and just intrude on conversation, you know, like, you think a certain type of way the moment you put it on, and it's like, this is crazy. Like, this is actually insane. And that's why so many people are, like, just living their lives.
The only thing that is keeping it from, like, getting worse at this current stage is the fact that people cannot be in there 24/7. That's the only reason. As soon as people are able to become self-sufficient on it somehow, as in, like, working jobs through it, or I don't know, for whatever, doing literally real life, but just through that, basically, as a proxy, almost, or somehow be able to just completely not give a fuck about themselves whatsoever, and they just, you know, maybe they have an auto feeder or something. They just piss in a bucket, and that's just it. And they just be completely, constantly, non-stop submerged.
And when you think about it, right? That's kind of fucking cool. Like, Sword Art Online. You tell me you don't want to do that shit?
it's cool until you take into account the consequences that has on us as a species. Like, that's how fucked we're talking here. Like,
that's the next level of evolution, dude. As soon as we can upload
oh
yourself,
my god, bruh.
You've literally evolved.
Oh my god, bro. I have never heard it said. I have never heard it said like that. Holy shit.
But you have.
Humans
you have literally evolved.
Okay, yes. But literally, exactly. Humans are creating our own. We've gotten to a point where we can manually evolve. And that is when that's just like, that's when it goes fucking ape shit. That's like exponential. That's the thing. It's exponential increase in, everything basically. But it comes at the cost of like, I don't know how to describe it better than just saying like the human soul, or like spirit, I guess you could say, or like,
It's like you're not. Well, that's the thing too. It's like, are you even human anymore at that point?
I don't know. Of course, it always comes down to the question of what makes you human. But personally, I would say no, because I think that is what makes you human.
Yeah, I don't even think you're probably not even human anymore, dude.
Being this fucking husk of like flesh, blah blah blah, that can just like say stupid shit. Be a moron on Star Wars RP. Like, that doesn't mean you're human. Any monkey can like evolve to do that, I'm sure. But when it comes to a point that like you
could literally like upload yourself to an internet, to like a virtual environment.
If you get to a point where you can transcend your physical body, that is the point where it like, because that's already what we're doing, just not in a literal sense. We're doing it in a
preservative sense.
Yes, exactly. But we're
to like
slowly
upload
working,
your conscience.
We're slowly working towards that. I mean, shit, dude. Like you were saying, the generation that is currently being born, like right now, pretty much, like the iPad babies. They're all terrible. I work with them. I have to deal with them. They're awful. They don't have any like regard for just anything. No patience, no discipline, they just don't give a fuck. They will whine, bitch, cry, and scream more than anybody else. And that is first of all, it's parenting issues in general. But if we're relating this to this whole thing, right? We are going to begin, and already have begun pretty much, from the get-go.
Black Mirror. Black Mirror.
Fuck, dude.
Black Mirror.
That's another one! How many times are we just gonna fucking ignore this shit, bro? Like, what?
It's because secretly, everyone fucking wants it. Everyone wants it until it's too fucking late. Until you can't fucking take it back anymore. You know?
But that's
until you can't destroy the world-leading industry of, augmented reality, where you see ads everywhere because you have an implant in your eye, right? Until you can't take that back. And you live with it. And dude, think about the past 200 years alone. How much technology has evolved?
It's fucking cracked. We literally cannot even comprehend what shit will be like in 200 years, because it's like exponential, right? Like we don't increase in a linear fashion. We went from fucking like cannons and muskets and shit like that to fucking tanks and guided rockets and lasers and fucking.
And you don't even need to put a person in it. You don't even need a person in it.
That shit does it itself. You don't need to worry. Like, dog, what? We have been to other planets, Scythe. You would literally, fucking 200 years ago, you would literally, like, put someone in jail, like a mental hospital, for even considering that.
Yeah.
As, like, reasonably plausible. It's fucking, it's insane. Which is why I say, like, this is gonna happen so much sooner than people think. Like, people do not understand that, like, give it fucking 4 or 5 generations from now, which, like, when you put it into, your great-great-grandfather, like, that's when the world could completely turn to shit, or that's like the length of time, it's like, dude, it's right around the corner, pretty much, and people don't.
And there's a group of people who are paying, like, and a group of scientists in like a lab. I shit you not, to cryogenically freeze them, like, before they die, so that they may live long enough to be able, for science to be able to upload their conscience.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. I don't buy into the idea that everybody secretly wants it, because I cannot see an outcome with that in which I am happy, or I just can't. But it
doesn't. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think, because the next generation is gonna want it. They're gonna grow up on it. They're gonna hand feed him to him.
Fuck. We're trapped, literally.
Can't do anything about it, man.
The most true, fucking old age quote is that, humanity will 110%, without a single doubt in my mind, we will cause our own downfall. Whether it is we literally nuke ourselves to death, or we just become
here's the thing.
not human anymore.
If we want to talk about humanity, our downfall could be when we're just not even human anymore.
Exactly. Because then
you're a whole new species.
You're a whole new. Every shred of what made you a human has been either replaced or disintegrated. It is no longer every concept that we hold dear in, I would assume, the psychological sense, love, fear, empathy, just feelings, honestly, and
and we're just getting we're getting to a virtual technical side of it, and you can even think of it too as genetically. You could genetically modify someone.
Dude, we already are
with no impurities. Yeah, exactly.
We literally already are doing that. Give it 10 years, less probably, and you will 100% be able to make designer babies. Technically, you already can, but I mean, on a commercial scale. And at that point, genuinely, at that point, I would not consider them, because it's kind of like the whole what is it, the Arc of Theseus thing, that if you replace every board in a boat over time, and over time you basically have replaced every board on the boat, is it really the same boat? Right? So if you technically have most parts of it as random, just whatever DNA would come to be, but you have parts that are altered, eventually you will get to a point where most of it is altered, and that is when that's the point of no return, effectively.
That's the moral dilemma, dude. Genetic modification. It's do you say, and here's another question, right? So I was talking with this with another friend, and he was having a discussion with his family about it, and so his brother is paralyzed, right? So because of a birth defect, and he brought up a good point, because he was talking about if he could, if they could genetically make it so that no one could have to go through that, and then he brought up a good point. He was like, but if they did that, would I still be the person I am today? I don't know, dude. It's a big moral dilemma. Do you play God?
I genuinely, I don't think it's right for us to play God, but I don't think people understand that. I genuinely don't think that most of the people supporting it, or at the very least, hearing his argument and being I don't really give a fuck, I don't feel it'll make that big of a difference, are really understanding what he means by that. They all all of the struggles that he went through, everything that he had to live with, to upbring him to the person that he was today,
it's like, would he still be that person? Would he still have the same morals, and would he be a less? Would he love himself any less, right? If he didn't go through all of that, would he still have the same appreciation for life? Like, it's a big moral dilemma, dude.
And I genuinely don't think it's one that can be solved, in my opinion.
It won't have to matter eventually.
I mean, it won't. But
because you'll get there. But yeah, no one's gonna be right. No one's gonna care.
We're literally on a train ride with no fucking brakes, bro. Like
all gas, no brakes.
Like we're going for it, full fucking speed ahead. And like as much as we want to sit here and be like, yo, whatever the fuck happens. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna fucking play some video games, get high, and talk about some other shit, and completely forget about the conversation. And we're all just gonna move on, and like we're just gonna let it happen.
See, and that's where my nihilistic ideals come into it. It's like, yeah, it's gonna happen. Like, it's so hard to care, and that's my other thing about it too. Is like it's so hard to care, and nobody else does. You know what I mean?
This is terrible. This is awful.
Dude, like you're again to the mind of old Scythe here, dude. This is the shit I've been thinking about. Like, I love thinking about it, but in my head,
because it's so interesting, but at the same time,
yeah, like in my head, I know like it's not gonna be for better, for worse, doesn't matter. It's gonna be whatever the fuck the person who everyone loves in that society at the time says it.
Yeah, we are. And frankly, we're not gonna be okay. Like it's like again, not to push you into the doomer, but like, okay, this is my thing. I do believe there is inherent good in the world, which is why I'm not like, you know, generally speaking, I'm fairly optimistic. I do think, you know, like I said, there is inherent good and people do good. There is just more bad in the world than good. And because of that, and also because of how good people may unknowingly direct their energy, or I guess where they derive power from, or derive power to be, because of that, bad people make the decisions and bad people control the course, if that makes any sense. And because of that, we're fucked, because nobody has the awareness to like understand that. It's only the people who are in very niche, usually stoners, fucking, you know, psychonauts, because they are the ones that have begun to, I guess, expand your mind, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, but it's a double-edged sword, because it literally is like a red pill, because you come to some realization, yeah. But at the same time you also realize like nothing's gonna stop it though. It's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. I think the best way, another fellow doomerist told me, I was talking to something similar about him, and he was like, and I was telling him, I was like, just how do you deal with it? And he was like, the same way the world always has cheap women, cheap booze, and everything in your fucking that you could possess to not think about it. Same way we have always lived with this.
It's crazy that throughout human history, regardless of what time period, place, or, you know, situation, whatever the context, we have always sought this.
Because it's more, people are gonna, like, 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, it's people will chase that moment of happiness and complete euphoria every single time, like a drug, more than they will fix problems, practical issues, because it's easier. Who the fuck wants to put in that hard work? Who cares? What is the point of caring when no one else cares?
Yes, exactly. Why put in the hard work if you know? Okay, if you know it's a team effort, what's the point of putting in the hard work to help the team?
It's like like pollution, dude. No one cares.
Exactly.
Like, nobody cares.
No one cares. And even the people that do at their core care, they can't fucking care because nobody else cares. It's literally the reason why honestly, I throw fucking trash on the street, bro. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Like,
yeah, fuck it. Fuck it, bud.
Like, dog. And then you have, like, the whole, like, you know, save the turtles. Like, it's like...
Oh my god, I hate that so much. I'll say what, at least, like, that's what I hate the most, dude. And that's why I refuse to go on Twitter. I don't have a Twitter. I will never get a Twitter. It's because the same reason why I stopped using Facebook when I was in, like, middle school was because I'd see everyone saying some dumb fucking shit, like, oh, you know, like this to support the Ethiopian children, or if you know, ignore this if you hate Jesus, and, you know, repost if you love God. And one of the things, I saw those all the times, and one of the things that set me off the edge for no reason at all was, I remember this like it was fucking yesterday. It was the only Facebook argument I ever got in, and the last one I ever fucking had was somebody sent something about, like, support your community and, like, the homeless people. And I was like, the fucking homeless? Are you fucking daft, bitch? Like, what are you going to do? And I just exploded. I was like, what are you going to do then? And I literally said, like, okay, then go do something. I said, go do something. And then she was like, oh, what are you talking about? I was like, and she went on the whole thing. I was like, why the fuck would you post something like this if you yourself are not willing to go do something about it? And eventually she said dumb shit. Other people started chiming in, and I was like, fuck it, whatever. And she later posted something else stupid that pissed me off. Only argument I ever got in, but I learned a valuable lesson that day, that everyone is ready to fucking... Everyone is ready to support every cause in the world as long as it doesn't mean making practical action.
Yeah. That sucks. It really does suck. It really does suck because it feels like there's so much more, good than there is, I guess. If you really want to put it, like, in a very bleak sense, or very bleak lens. But it's true, because although they may have good intention, the effect is null and void, right?
And that's where, like, you come into, like, as a leader of, like, your country, right? It's something I said earlier. It's like, it's either you have freedom and you can hope that people will have a change of heart, but they won't, because that moment of euphoria is so much more important, and they're not, and then you can go to the other side of that, to where you could just be a straight dictator and be like, no, we're gonna do this, this, and this because it's for our country, ripping away everyone's freedoms and their fucking will to live, basically. But at the end of the day, it's gonna turn into nobody still does not care, because of either they don't have the fucking motivation to do it, they're forced to do it, but they're not doing a very good job at it because they're forced to do it. And no one's gonna care until the problem is right in their face and it's too late. And I don't have a hatred for the world, right? Like, I don't hate
it's
people.
Not a hate. It's more. It's for me. It's
just like a
disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say I've gotten past disappointment though. It's just like a way of life. It quite literally is a way of life.
It just is.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, unfortunately. And you're just like, okay. Sucks to suck.
Yeah. It really sucks to suck. And the thing is too, dude, like, and I don't really blame our generation so much for not caring, because with social media as general, with the whole information of the world in everyone's pocket, when you're flooded with so much information, tragedy after tragedy after tragedy, it's just so hard to keep up and care. And then it's either you put it away because you don't want to face that reality of what's happening literally everywhere else out in the world, all these horrible things happening, so you don't look at it, you choose not to, or you do, and then you feel this overwhelming, like, where I'm at right now, where you're so nihilistic about everything. It's just like, what the fuck's the point? Like, it's unheard of that anyone has ever gotten through all of these problems with the world. They've never been fixed until it's in their face, such as war, an economic collapse of a whole country that affects multiple other countries. It's not going to be fixed until the problems in their face. But now it's at a point where we know all the problems, we know what's going on with the world, countries.
Can't be fucked, dude. Like,
can't be fucked to care to do anything about it.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't blame people, because I can't possibly blame individuals for this. This is something way bigger than.
This is like a downfall in the making.
It literally is, and that's why it's so sad.
Yeah.
Because, fuck, like, it's literally gonna be over soon. Like dead ass. Like, we have as much. Oh, fuck me, dude. As long as humans have been.
And the way everyone else sees it too, dude, is like, everyone, the way, and that, like, why do you think depression is just so unbelievably high in, like, our generation? You know what I mean? An all-time high. It's because everybody sees all this information, and they're dealing with their own shit, right? Back in the day, it was, you dealt with, like, everyone, still had the same problems that they grew up with. It's, growing up just sucks, right? But on top of that, you have all this other information of shit, and it's like, fuck, dude. You know what I mean? There's just, like, there's no answer to it. That is quite literally just how it is.
And because of that, that's why so many people just refuse to acknowledge the reality of things, and because they refuse to acknowledge that.
They refuse
reality,
to believe it.
They refuse to acknowledge it, and because of that, they literally convince themselves that it's not the case.
Yeah.
I feel like they get to a point where they are so, like, they are only drinking the Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. But it's also to a point where everybody is drinking the Kool-Aid. So therefore, nobody is not drinking the Kool-Aid, because you are inherently in this environment in which this is the normal. This is not only the normal, but, like, the 99%. Like,
yeah, everyone's thinking this, dude. No one's gonna talk about it. No one's gonna talk about it. No, we are gonna talk about it, but we're just not gonna take any practical action on it.
Oh, fuck.
Because it's just a band-aid solution. Because you can't actually solve this problem of, and where do you even begin? Where the fuck do you even begin with the problems? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The problem that just no one is too fucked to care. Like, I don't know, man.
I'm turning this into a podcast episode. Just so you know. This whole
Yeah.
conversation. I'm dead ass. I've got an hour's worth of footage. I'm not even capping.
Oh, where the fuck? Where did you even start?
I think we were still talking about fucking trips and shit. Like
That's crazy,
and
bro. You should send me that shit.